Violence and war.
The
insane brutality of ISIS continues. The Russians are invading Ukraine, and the Palestinians and Israelis continue to slug it out. Does that make you feel gloomy? Well, don't, because if you look at the numbers, war actually seems to be going out of fashion, while the global population is at an all-time high. It seems that we live in the most peaceful period in human history. How is this possible?
Interesting.
As of September 2014, there were 4 conflicts going on in the world that had caused at least 10,000 people to die since January 2013. 9 conflicts that killed more than 1,000 people, and 13 that killed more than 100 since January 2013. Not really peaceful, but consider this. Of all the conflicts going on, none is an active war between countries. They are either civil wars or local conflicts. Although civil wars are terrible and cause huge suffering, their impact is usually way smaller than a war between nations or empires. When 2 nations engage in war, they can mobilize much bigger forces, have access to all of the state's resources and logistics, and almost to all of the population. So why have we transitioned from wars between nation-states to civil wars?
Chat says, no war equals billions of military dollar and contractors not getting work.
A lot of it is to do with colonialism and the Cold War. When the Cold War ended, a major driver of armed conflict vanished too.
Wait. I mean, okay. That does make sense, but I mean, not having a war can be a good thing. People aren't dying, and you know, I'm not even gonna have a take about this. Okay, no take. Okay, I don't think as a concept, a war is. You know, dude, I'm not even gonna say anything, dude. Fuck all this. You know, I'm sure I've watched
the breakup of the communist dictatorships revealed new.
If I say anything, everybody's gonna get mad. If I say war is bad, yeah, but conflicts are bad and they need wars. And if you say, oh, war is needed, no, because war causes death and suffering, and we shouldn't have. No takes. Fuck you guys. No takes today.
And brought new conflicts in the now freed states, which often resulted in civil war. Much more importantly, in 1945, nearly all of Africa, much of Asia, and parts of Latin America were under colonial rule. By 1990, all but a few islands were independent. But wait, couldn't you argue that what today's multinational corporations are doing in the Third World is just as bad as colonialism? Let's look at Congo. It was established as a colony in 1885 by the Belgian king, an area 80 times the size of Belgium. Violence committed against the indigenous Congolese and the ruthless system.
You know, dude, I actually have a take now. I have a take that it won't be political. Let's say you're playing a game of a strategy game. Okay, you're playing a game of strategy, and you're playing Age of Empire, and you build these barracks and these huge structures that cost a lot of fucking money to make, so you can make units, and you make units, right? You make units, right? And it costs you a shit ton to maintain and repair whatever, right? And then all of a sudden, your enemies say, yo, dude, how about at the water, okay? You live there, I live here, and you don't attack me, I don't attack you. And people are like, yo, you know what? Fuck it. We live in harmony. And you start taking on resources, you're rolling, and then somebody says, yo, dude, you're not making more units, bitch. Yo, the barracks, they're not, you're being used, bitch. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're not using these structures. Well, okay, how is that a problem?
Watch this riddle is so
good. Of economic exploitation.
That's how when I play a game.
Half of the population by 1908. About
what?
10.
What is this chat?
Listen here, Goomba, my dick is soft and these wolves ain't doing it for me. Get on.
I feel that's like saying. I feel that's like saying. Oh, dude, what? We're not having a nuclear war anymore, man. Dude, but we're not using all the nuclear power that we have. Dude, fuck.
Like, 1 million Congolese were executed.
I don't want to use the nuclear bombs and shit like that. We don't. What?
Or starved to death. Millions were mutilated and traumatized. The economic exploitation of the Congo remained the top
I'm done.
priority, and forced labor
I'm
never
muting.
really ceased completely until the end of Belgian rule in 1960, which is not really that long ago. So no, colonialism was much worse than vulture capitalism is today, and it ended just 2 generations ago. Most of the conflicts that are going on right now are in areas that 60 years ago were under foreign control. But things are getting better. Until 1989, victory for one side in a civil war was common, while nowadays, victories are much rarer. At the same time, negotiated endings have jumped from...
I reckon my take. How about we spend resources on transferring the things that are used to destroy to build things instead? Pac-Man as a transition. Now that there is less war and less destruction.
10% to almost 40%. What about the rest of the world? Why have nation-states stopped attacking each other? There are 4 major reasons. 1. Democratization. The steady development from autocracy to democracy. Democracies hardly ever fight each other. Of all the state-against-state wars fought since 1900, only a minority were fought between democracies. 2. Globalization. War is just not as effective at achieving economic goals as it used to be. Today, it's almost always cheaper to buy resources on the global market than to seize them by force. People from other nations are more valuable to us alive than dead, which overall is a pretty new concept. 3.
Sounds reasonable to me.
War is so 20th century. Until World War I, warfare was seen as an inevitable part of the human experience and as a valuable tool which you could use to achieve goals when diplomacy hit a brick wall. Today we have rules that declare acts of aggression illegal and stipulate that armed force is only justified in self-defense or with the authority of the UN Security Council. These rules are still broken, but today it's harder to do so without sparking opposition and disapproval. Also, we have an international court for war crimes in The Hague, and that's a very recent innovation. 4. Borders are mostly fixed now.
Guys. I could be wrong about this, okay, but listen. I get it. These rules are always broken though, and some people never do anything of any of these treaties, whatever. It is what it is. These are good concepts in place and good things, but it just can't be perfect. Yeah, it is what it is.
After World War II, territorial wars generally stopped when most countries pledged to
Makes it
accept
harder? Okay,
international
makes sense.
borders and respect other nations' autonomy. But is all of this just an anomaly, or are we on the road to lasting peace? Truth is, we don't know yet. We need a big enough sample to rule out the historical average, which is about 1 or 2 big wars per century. We just haven't had enough time since World War II to rule out the possibility that war is not going away. If we don't have one major war in the next 75 years, we can be really confident that humanity is changing. So, you see, war might be over. Yes, there are nasty conflicts going on in many places, but overall, things are getting better, and we can make them even better by speaking up for peace and democracy.
Interesting. Interesting. Actual lib takes. Okay. Hey man. I would rather have less people die. Shut up, you fucking libtard! Jesus Christ, this chat sometimes, man.